What's the Church of Scientology so afraid of?
This is SPTV.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to SPTV for more live coverage of the Danny Masterson trial from Los Angeles. I actually do have to get out of here in about 20 minutes to head to court. But before I do, I wanted to share with you a statement that Leah Remini issued. It's a Twitter thread about the revelation we had in court yesterday that almost the entire file of discovery that the prosecutors in the Danny Masterson case turned over to the defense attorneys has wound up in the hands of David Miscavige's agent, attorney Vicky Podboreski. And Vicky was dumb enough to send an email to the LAPD complaining about some of the testimony officers have given in the Danny Masterson case, and attached to the email a link to a shared file containing all of the leaked documents. Pretty ridiculous behavior. Some people wonder why attorneys representing Scientology behave this way. The answer is because David Miscavige tells them to. That is the answer. So let me just show you the Twitter thread from Leah Remini. By the way, some people ask me what's with the black shirts I wear all the time. Guys, you might not be able to tell how sweaty I am right now. But between going to the gym this morning and a hot shower, it takes me forever to stop sweating. That's why I wear black shirts, because you can't tell. All right, let's get to it here. Okay, Leah Remini says, I have some important news to share. News that has frustrated and angered me. In the rape trial of celebrity Scientologist Danny Masterson this morning, the Los Angeles DA's office revealed that Scientology has covertly obtained a significant amount of criminal discovery materials. Scientology has no reason to have criminal discovery materials in its possession, no reason at all. Scientology, which should be a co-defendant in this trial, has repeatedly lied, saying it has no covert involvement in this trial. But longtime Scientology attorney Vicky Podboreski made a colossal error last week. Vicky, who receives her orders directly from Captain David Miscavige, emailed the DA's office to complain about how Scientology was being treated in the trial. But when Vicky was sending the email, she made a grave error. She included a link in her email. When the DA's office clicked on that link, they were shocked to see a massive amount of their criminal discovery. This is the same criminal discovery the DA shared with Danny Masterson's defense team. This is a huge deal. This confirms that Scientology, which has tax exemption based on its religious status, it is not a religion, is colluding with Danny Masterson and his defense team. The judge immediately asked Danny's defense attorney, Philip Cohen, if he shared the discovery with Scientology. Cohen said no. Well, I don't believe Cohen, a slimy victim-shaming attorney who somehow manages to sleep at night even though he takes his orders from Captain David Miscavige. There are other possibilities of who could have shared these materials with Scientology. Sean Hawley, Danny's other defense attorney, who has a sign in her office that says, "Don't cloud the argument with facts." Sean has spent more time trying to get me thrown out of court when I'm present to support the Jane Does than defending her client. That's true. Danny's previous defense attorney, Thomas Mesereau, who Cohen replaced, also had access to this discovery. It could easily be Danny and his family who handed over the discovery to Scientology. They are all Scientologists who believe they're above the law. Scientology policy requires Scientologists to turn over these materials. It could have been one of Danny's buddies and his crew of Scientologists called the Donkey Punch Bunch. More on that later. These Scientologists have participated in a conspiracy to obstruct justice in this case and other cases, all to protect Scientology. I have great respect for defense attorneys, especially public defenders. They're an essential part of our deeply flawed criminal justice system, but I don't respect defense attorneys who spend their time doing Scientology's bidding. There is nothing Scientology and Scientologists won't do to infiltrate government offices, organizations, and institutions. There's nothing Scientology won't do to obtain the intel it needs to protect itself. It has literally been Scientology policy for 7 decades. Those of us who fight against Scientology's abuses have been trying to get the media, law enforcement officials, and others to understand how Scientology operates. We've warned them that Scientology will stop at nothing to infiltrate this trial, the jury, the LAPD, and the DA's office, but we've been largely waved off. Please read this thread about certain LAPD officials who collude with Scientology. And Leah is linking to a thread from late last year about LAPD veteran. I believe he was the captain of the Hollywood division, Corey Polka. It says Polka. It might be Polka. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Corey Polka is under investigation for essentially secretly leaking information to powerful people about cases against them that he was colluding with. And he's done that with Scientology. Here you can see Cory Polka accepting a $20,000 check, literally from the Church of Scientology, at the Church of Scientology. Okay, next item in the thread here. Last week, Reverend N.J. Skippy LaRue, a so-called reverend wearing a collar, appeared in court. He told Sean Hawley he was invited there by Scientology. However, when Judge Almeida directly asked him if he was associated with Scientology, he lied and said he wasn't. Meanwhile, Reverend Skip, who isn't a Scientologist, has a nearly 3-decade history with Scientology, including sending this letter to Disney on Scientology letterhead. All of this lying, corruption, and obstruction is happening out in the open. Yeah. So, and Leah includes a screenshot of part of a letter of Reverend Skippy LaRue sending a letter on behalf of Scientology, essentially complaining that Disney, through A&E, is practicing bigotry against Scientology for airing the Scientology in the Aftermath show. And yet Reverend Skippy told the judge he has no affiliation with Scientology. Okay, next item in the thread here. Scientology has repeatedly attacked reporters, advocates, and survivors who have said they are involved in this trial. They've referred to anyone who has stated this fact as a bigot. Today, Vicky Podbreski confirmed everything we knew. But will anyone care? All of this infuriates me because people are giving Scientology precisely what it wants: indifference. Scientology is fueled by the indifference of people who can do something about its abuses and criminality. It's a travesty of justice. Members of the media who don't properly report on Scientology, which means learning what Scientology actually is and not just asking to interview me, and seek to avoid harassment instead of doing their job and revealing Scientology's criminality and corruption. It's fueled by people who foolishly think that they know everything about Scientology and then do things like publish statements from Scientology spokesperson, which disregards the fact that Scientology has policies, i.e. laws, that require lying to the media and law enforcement. By the way, I waited a few hours to post this because I hoped that a bombshell this significant would get mainstream media coverage. So far, silence from mainstream media members who breathlessly covered every raised eyebrow and cough in the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. Now, of course, one of Scientology's sock accounts replied with something hateful to Leah, but I can't see it because those accounts have me blocked. And then my friend Andrew Gold would like to interview Leah Remini. When I talk to Leah, I'll ask her if she's interested in talking with Andrew, because that would be a lot of fun. All right, let's see. So on this, the LAPD continues to actually be in bed with Scientology. A local Scientology activist or anti-Scientology activist named Josh, and I don't want to get the last name wrong, but it's Josh. I want to say Aramento. Sorry if I apologize in advance if I got it wrong. Sent me some footage of an event that was going on L. Ron Hubbard Way hosted by Scientology. And he just went to the event to walk around the block and record the response to him just walking around the block. It wasn't Scientology's own security personnel who was doing security at this event. It was actual LAPD officers. I'm going to guess off-duty officers who are allowed to be hired by Scientology to perform security in their police uniforms, in their police cars. And Scientology, when it hires these off-duty officers, pays them 3 times the going rate for off-duty security work. And they do this even though Scientology has no need for extra security personnel. Scientology has a very extensive security staff. To be fair, their security staff probably aren't allowed to carry firearms. But they have dozens and dozens of security staff who do look like police officers, because that's how the Sea Org members, that's what they do. They try to look like they actually are officers with some sort of civil authority. And so even though they don't actually need to hire police officers to do security, they do so anyway. And they do this in Los Angeles and they do it in Clearwater. And one of the reasons is to continue to create, to cement this overly friendly relationship with LAPD. Mike Rinder did a blog post about this a couple weeks ago that I'm probably going to do a video about this week when I have some time, of how Scientology, not only do they take these steps to create this inappropriately friendly relationship with the police, but they actually even take steps beyond that, of falsely advertising partnerships and friendships with the police that don't even actually exist. And one of the reasons they do all this is to create the impression amongst Scientologists themselves that even if they wanted to report another Scientologist to the police, which is a violation of Scientology policy, rules, law, it would be futile because the police are in the pocket of Scientology. and Scientology takes steps to create this impression in the minds of Scientologists to an even greater degree than is probably true. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, I just wanted to at least give this a little bit of a signal boost on YouTube, since the statement itself was issued on Twitter. And, not everybody who's on YouTube is on Twitter. So that's that, guys. I'm sure we're going to be hearing, I'm sure at the 8:30, court goes on the record at 8:30, even though proceedings don't start until 9, just so that issues like precisely like this can be aired in court out of the presence of the jury before proceedings begin. And I'm sure that's one of the reasons I got to get over to the court as fast as possible, because I'm sure we are likely to hear a little bit more about what is going to go on in this case in regards to this evidence leak. Judge Almeida has said that at the end of this trial, she's actually scheduling an evidentiary hearing to determine how this leak occurred. And it looks like Masterson's attorneys, both present and past, may be actually put on the stand under oath and questioned about how the redacted evidence files leaked to the Church of Scientology. And that's something I'm very much looking forward to. So that's all I got for now, guys. Okay, I'll very quickly jump over to the chat. I don't want to ignore anyone who wanted to do some super chats this morning. Let's see what we got. Okay, Kathy Ann, if any of the LAPD or SCIP try to sue someone for publicly saying things about this leak corruption, how could the Church of Scientology react? Since they aren't the Church of Scientology, but it could lead to subpoenas of Scientologists and David Miscavige. Kathy Ann, on this hypothetical, there's really no chance of lawsuits being filed over public statements that are made about a public trial. I mean, technically you can sue somebody over anything, but these guys are pretty much doing Scientology's bidding, and Scientology wouldn't want a lawsuit to be filed for precisely the reason that you give here. Scientology doesn't really sue people anymore because they can't really afford to be subjected to the process of discovery. And if you're the one filing the lawsuit, you're considered the aggressor. And you can't really complain that you're being harassed with discovery attempts when you're the one filing the lawsuit. So I think that answers that question. Scientology would freak out about it because they wouldn't want it to occur, and therefore it won't occur. Okay, Lance Whitaker. Someone is going to write a screenplay about this case. This is more entertaining and ridiculous than any fiction anyone could come up with. Yes, definitely more entertaining than L. Ron Hubbard's science fiction, that's for sure. John B., thank you for the super sticker, John B. Okay, Hannah needs to yell. Can't wait for the evidentiary hearing. Oh boy, neither can I. All right, everyone, that is all we have this morning. I got to get out of here. Thank you to everyone for watching. Thanks to everyone who watches until the very end, and I'll see you at the update at 12:30 p.m. Pacific. Talk to you guys soon.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe right here.